Hey there, folks. Doug with Stacking Investments here. Sorry I've been away. I got lots of coins. I got lots of silver to show you. But sorry I've been away for a while. I've been working those big jobs. And now I'm fixing to, I talked in videos where I'm going to pay off my house. So I'm squirreling away money to do that. Getting close. But then I got a bad roof. I got a couple leaks. And they're under control, but I decided it's time to put a new roof on the house. So I'm going with 10. And what I got laid out here is on the back side, because I've done the front already as far as years back with some new trim and stuff. I did, 6 or 8 inch, might have been 8 inch tongue and groove cedar panels going this way. And I put all new windows in and everything, and I trimmed them out, so that's pretty much done. I have to go back and touch up the paint with this. I'll have to repaint all the green up front, but running a dark green trim just for that farm appearance. But what I got here is a bunch of 1x6s laid out, because on the sides for the gable trim and then across the back the fascia trim, I'm going to be replacing that. So the best thing to do, and we're going to replace it, putting that on as we go, putting the roof on. And I may go ahead and get that all in place before we start doing the roof. But I got it laid out. I got these metal stands we used at the flea market to set doors or plywood on to set up the flea market, and they work. They're just little sawhorses, and we got a bunch of them. So I got 4 boards laid out on each one. Got a couple laid out here on the table. Got one under the rack there, one under the rack there. And I only got 3 boards over there. But that's my clips, because I had all the boards standing up. And I did the side edge right here. I put 3 coats on. Right now I got laid out with the first coat, letting it dry. And what I'm using is this pretty green here. And I'm using Burr exterior flat stain blocking paint and primer. This stuff is not cheap. 2 gallons of it was $130 or something like that. Not the most expensive paint, but if you're going to do some painting, use some high quality paint. Now the reason I'm doing 3 coats is because I'm painting onto bare wood, and I don't care how good the paint is, you're not going to get bare wood covered in 1 coat. Some would say, oh, get out the primer, prime your wood up, and then put a coat on, and you get away with 1 coat. You know what? I bought 2 gallons of the stuff. I put 3 coats on, and that should do it, and then I can touch up as needed along the way. So let me show you what we got over here. I've already purchased all the materials I'm gonna need. When I go up on the roof, I got 14-foot 1x4s. I found a really good deal on it, so they're all piled up under the tarp, keeping them nice and dry. And then I staggered out because I'm doing the front and the back, but we're going to do the back first. And I'm not in a hurry to do this. We're not going to knock it out in 2 or 3 days. We're going to do sections at a time, probably, because I'm cleaning out every 2 feet to the metal will then be screwed to the 1x4s. But this is the green color, so that's why I got the paint. I took the brochure in with the color and had them match it. Over here, got some air conditioner units I haven't broke down yet. I had a client where if they had a bad fan top or fan motor, I could just come in and pop this off, or I could take the motor with blades and everything, go make the job quicker. Recycling their motors to be used. The motors work good. The compressors are out in all of these units, and they just didn't work. So I kept them for some reusable parts. It's not like it's with these, it's more of it's low income HUD housing. So when I take one of these out to help cut their budget, the motors are perfectly working. So I would bring these home, take them out, I would stack the motors up on their shelves, and then as I needed one, I could come in, and depending on if one was smaller or bigger this way, or a different brand or different style, or like this one, different brand, I've already took this motor off, I never charged them for the motor. I would just charge them for the labor, and then that way they got the rest of the life out of the motor without having to fork out that extra money. After all, it is technically their fan motor, and then I get to scrap out all the rest. So there's some parts in here that I would reuse only for the property they came from. Now, if it comes to residential, you don't put a used motor in a residential unless you're doing, it might be a emergency and you can't get the motor they have, and you got one of these, you could put it in, let it run till you got a brand new one and put in for a resident, because they're paying for the motor. So, but what I got here is, this is drip edge. So after I get my fascia board up and get that all situated, then I will run at the edge of the roof, I will run my first 1x4 from that stack there, and then I will simply lay this on top, put a couple nails in it, roofing nails every so often to secure it down. And then once we get this laid out, then we'll be able to get pull the sheets up on the roof, square the first one up, and then this is the drip edge here, so the roof I'm going to have a 2-inch overhang going all the way down. That's what was recommended. That's what I'm doing. I got my corner pieces for my gable ends. This is going to be the side and the back, I think. I don't remember what this is. Okay, this is just another piece of that. This is going to be for the front, because I have a gable on the front. So that's what that piece is for. Like my roof line's coming along, and then I have a cheap, just fancy looking gable. So these are cut to fit across that. These are cut to fit up the sides of the house. So there you have it. Got it all laid out. And then let me take it around to the front. Oh, here's a couple more air conditioners. Both of these units used to be at my dad's house. That was his original unit, piece of junk. Then I got this unit, and there was a recall on the reversing valve in it, and we had problems with it. So, and I actually got a discount when I bought this unit. So I took this out, I put a different unit in, and I changed the refrigerant in it, because these are 410A system, and I changed the refrigerant out to a different style, and he's not had any problems ever since. Here's my ridge vents. There's a whole bunch of these. So once I get the metal to the back, I will place this up, securing it where it's supposed to go on the side we're done, and then I will just temporarily tack it down in the front. I'm not worried about it blowing off, because that's why I'm doing the back of the house first, because the wind comes this way, the air comes, my flow is from the backyard to the front, so I can just simply figure out where there's going to be a securing point and just temporarily tack this down with just a few screws until we start working on the front. So that's where those are laid out. And it's kind of cool that these have been sitting here for a while. I was waiting to figure out what to do with them, and I got overwhelmed with stuff. And they come in nice as to support some stuff up, so I don't have to bend down on the ground to pick it up. Come around here to the front of the house, and these are the long panels. We're 16, I can't remember, it was 16 or 18 inches longer in the front, because I have an extra overhang. So I then used these metal stands to prop it up, so that we don't have to lean down on the ground where I'm standing at it. And this is like almost counter height, so it makes it easier to work with and pick them up off the ground. Don't have to worry about bending over. But anyway, that's the gist of things. That's what I've been doing. Been gearing up on that. I finished those other projects, and I figured it's time to, since I'm getting close to the house, it's time to start doing some things while work is slow, since I finished those big projects. All in all, material wise, because I am doing the boards, the gable and eave trim, I'm cleating it with 1x4s, the roof. So I'll be cleating it. That's what the tin will set on. That will keep it up off of because I'm not going to tear the shingles off. So that'll keep it up high. It'll give me a little bit of extra insulation in the house. But overall, the sheets for the front, the ridge vent, my end covers, drip edges, metal for the back, and my 1x, all the screws, all the insulation gizmos that I need to use, all the screws, the boots to cover the vent pipes. I got to cut around the chimney, so I got to have some really good caulk for that. Everything all together, I'm looking at about $4,200 I've spent. I just added it up 2 days ago. So $4,200. It's going to cost a little more than that to reshingle the roof. And if I was to hire somebody, this is going to be $10, $12, possibly $14,000 installation. So because I'm buying the materials and doing it myself, and my buddy Harvey is going to come over and help, this cuts down on the cost because I only have to supply the materials. My buddy's going to come over and help because when he gets projects, he'll come over and help as needed. And then then he gets jobs where he gets things going on where he wants me to come out and look and figure out for him. So we kind of just go back and forth. We trade out. I need help, he comes over and helps. He needs help, I go over and help him. It's a win-win for both of us. There are times I call him out to help me with one of the jobs I'm doing for my clients. He helped me a little bit on one of the jackhammer jobs, and of course I pay him for that because I'm actually making money. But when it comes to personal stuff around the house, it's a win-win. I borrowed his trailer. He had a nice long trailer. He's got a 20-foot trailer that I was able to borrow for about a week. I went and picked up all my 1x4s, got those back stacked up. I went 2 days later, picked up my metal, brought it back. I didn't have time to get it off that one night, so I took part of it off, and then I came out the next day and staged it all out. But as you can see, I'm up on the stands again. So this is keeping us up off the ground. I'm not worried about, I can just take a broom and broom this off. I'm not worried about it getting wet because it's going to get wet anyways. The old air conditioners make a good stand to prop stuff on, hold it up so we don't have to bend down to the ground and pick it up. It's just a win-win. So, there's a old tub. It's not that old. I'm thinking about possibly getting some ducks, and when I do that, I was thinking about using this as a duck pond. So I figured I could get it situated. It's already got a pre-drain. It's already sloped to the drain. So I figured I could set this up, and then once I get everything situated, I could decorate around the sides and do things so you can't tell it's a tub. But no sense scrapping out something that is perfectly good and still usable. So I was going to throw that on the recycle trailer, and I was like, nope, I'll hang on to it for a little while. It is collecting some pine straw and pine cones. That's just the way it is. I try to recycle stuff. If I can repurpose it, I will. If not, it goes to the scrapyard. So anyways, that's what I've been doing. 15 minutes, long enough for me rambling. I will eventually get some, hopefully here in the near future, get some coin videos and slower videos ready to get posted out. But I got to get back to putting my second coat on. This first coat sunk in pretty good. So I will see y'all on another one.